Good evening. My name is Kang Chun. So today I will sharing about my industrial training journey at the TFMD, specifically in the bumping department. So before we go through, let me introduce about my company. The TFMD is a semiconductor company that specializes in providing the advanced assembly and test service for high performance computing, communication, and other semiconductor products. TFMD established through a partnership between the AMD and the Tongfu Microelectronic, can say TFME. So the TFMD served as the AMD main advanced packaging and test supplier in Malaysia. So in TFMD, we are required to follow the non-disclosure agreement or NDA. This means I am not allowed to take the picture or the video inside the production line, and it could expose the confidential information about the machine and process. Because of this, my presentation does not include any actual company video. Instead, I use some example picture from the Google just to illustrate the concept. So, my position in this industrial training is equipment engineer. So, as an equipment engineer, we are mostly do machine maintenance, support production, system improvement, new equipment setup, safety collaboration, and safety compliance and collaboration. So for the working environment, the bumping equipment has three area or three section. For example, like the light room, light room, and the PSN room. So for the light room, is mostly used to photolithography process such as the PI and PR photolithography. Next, for the wire room is mostly used for non-photo process like the cleaning, inspection, and more. Then lastly, for the BSM section, this is the backside metallization and mostly focus on coating the backside of the wafer with a metal layer. So before we go through about the activity, let me show about the SOP before we go into the production line. So before we go inside, we must wear the hair cover, face mask, cleaning jumpsuit, and the cleaning boots. So after we wear all the cleaning jumpsuit and boots, so we go to the air shower room to use to shower the particle take from the outside. This is because we can make sure we does not bring the particle into the production line. Next, I will explain about what I doing in this industrial training. So during my first week in marketing department, I start to an orientation, but in the Batu Kawan side, where I was introduced to the cleaning room SOP, safety rules, and overall workflow of the bumping line. After that, I learned about the wafer bumping process, included the important steps such as the PI coating and curing. Most important experience in this week was the company power dip in the third day. So where I will follow the senior engineer to monitor and recover all the machine in the year light room. So through this, I understood about the importance of the UPS, UPS like the system and preventive machine in keep the machine safe and during the suddenly power loss. So after that, I start to learn about the PI curing machine in the UI room. So I focus on how the BM and HD material required in different curing profile. So the role of temperature control and how the wafer are loaded for balance and quality. Lastly, I study about the effect of bumping effect and their solution. This show me why the preventive maintenance is necessary to maintain the wafer quality and improve the production yield. Next, in my second week, I attend the orientation season at the Banapa site, where I was introduced to the facility and operation. So in this week two, my first main task was observe and record all the gauges reading from the Leolite room. So I classified the result uh, in range, under range, over range, and not in use. After that, I follow the technician to adjust all the out of range gauges. Then finally, I get two results that is in range and no change. So Initially, I record everything on the paper, but it become messy. So my engineer suggest me switch to the Excel, which made the data easier and to manage and analyze. So lastly, I use the URI desktop for data entry. In week 3, I focus on learning how about the photolithography process used in the wafer bumping. First, I study the PI coating, where the BM and HT material are applied as the insulating and the protective layer, with different thickness and sensitive to UV light. Then I observe the PI stepper, which is use the UV exposure to the pattern on the PI layer and create the waves above the metal pads. Next, I learned about the PR coating machine, which spin the coat a thin and uniform phototheresis layer across the wafer. The phototheresis is temporary and only used for patterning, unlike PI, which remain a permanent insulate layer. Finally, I studied the PR stepper, which transfer the bump pattern from the mask onto the PR layer using the UV light. This define the exact position and the shape of copper pillars and solder bumps. So overall, I am deeper understanding about how the PI and PR process work together in the bump. Next, in week 4, I learned more about the inspection and cleaning process in the wafer bumping. First, I study about the PR developer, which remove either the exposure or unexposure photodiolysis after stepper exposure. I think the bump pattern more need for electrode plating. I was also learn about the AI machine, which is automatically inspect a wafer using the camera and image processing to detect the defect. And the OM machine and optical microscope used for manual inspection and defect confirmation. These two are critical in ensuring the wafer quality. Next, I used about the EBR profiler, which check the wafer edge and after the edge break removal. This step is important because assess the PI and PR at the wafer edge can interfere with the later process. So I also saw the a cut clean machine, which is used to clean the wafer carrier's cups. Since PI and PR coating and can cause splashes and or the drips, regular cleans prevent the contamination. In week number 5, I was introduced to the chemical delivery system, can say the CDS. So this is a facility that replace the manual chemical refueling with the automated silver pipeline system. So this is improve the safety, efficiency, and the chemical control. So for the CDS installing and technician testing, I was follow the engineers and technician to changing the pipe to CDS. Next, I assist in tying and placing pipe safely to avoid the leaking. So lastly, I help to transport the chemical drums from with the forklift and control the CDS for testing. Then for my second major task in the this week was preparing the working week instruction. So under the guideline of the senior process engineer, so we collect first the photo, machine details, and the explanation from the both vendor and the engineers. Since the CDS still under testing, we focus on documentation on the mechanical parts and layout first. So I assist the engineer by organizing the picture and provide the input based on my earlier CDS experience. Since the graph was ready, uh, I was sent to the senior engineer first for the checking and review, then later review by the both equipment and process engineer teams and including the manager. Then in week number 6, my main task was assist to set up the preventive maintenance checklist in the MS system. This is because previously the technician used the Excel file, which is very hard to manage, and by moving the checklist into the MS, so the technician can key in the data directly after the maintenance, and the engineer and the manager can review record more efficiently. I also learn how the system required us to create the code for each procedure, machine types, and maintenance interval like the daily, weekly, monthly, and annually. So after I complete the setup, we test it using the one machine. However, we face an issue at the step called attach the character to version, which is required from IT department. So we had to wait until the permission was granted. During this time, I realized I was using an engineer laptop, which is inconvenience. So I request to borrow the sharing laptop and install the MS there. So this solution allowed me to continue the setup without the interrupt their work. Then I complete the configuration for two machines at the first weekly level, where the data entry was still in the simple form at the yes or no. So for the next step is more complex. That is the got the race number in the checklist. So through this experience, I learned how the workflow digitalization, the, the importance of coordination between the department like the IT and engineering, and how the test and improve the system step by step. It also give me practical problem solving experience in finding ways to continue my task without the interrupt others' work. In week number 7, I complete to set up the monthly and quarterly checklist. So the monthly and above is more complex compared with the daily. This is because the daily only have two results. That is yes or no. So that is more the easiest way to setting. So for the monthly and above, the starting got the minimum and maximum limit. So in this week, I done to set up the AI machine, LM machine, Sparta machine, and the Curing machine. Next, for the weekend, I I done setting for the oven baking machine, PI engineering machine, thickness measurement machine, Skyburst machine, EBR profiler machine, X-ray machine, micron inspection machine, Sparta BSM machine, D-Tapper machine, uh, GPTC etcher machine, and the Dion SRD machine. For the conclusion in this industrial training, I learned about the wafer bumping process, gain the hands-on exposure equipment, assist in the preventive maintenance tasks, support the new facility setup, contribute the digitalization and and lastly improve the technical skill like the Excel reporting, working instruction writing, system configuration, and the clean room practice. So that's all for my presentation, and thank you.